In recent years, a large portion of content published in pseudo-spiritual channels run by self-proclaimed teachers has presented the concepts of the Age of Aquarius in a fragmented manner and without sufficient contextual grounding. This unawareness-based approach has caused topics that require practice, contemplation, and personal experience to be recorded in the minds of audiences as a collection of attractive but disconnected terms. As a result, the general public, instead of gradually understanding the truth, tends to follow these concepts more as mysterious or entertaining subjects. From a psychological perspective as well, when complex information is received without a coherent framework, the mind may become unsettled between curiosity, doubt, and imagination. However, when a person enters the path with humility, patience, and readiness to reconsider their beliefs, the same information gradually becomes organized and transforms into living and practical knowledge. Many truth seekers, when they first encounter concepts such as the Matrix, awakening, consciousness, the Age of Aquarius, New Earth, and hidden structures of mind control, assume that merely reading a few books, watching a few videos, following some pseudo-spiritual channels, or purchasing contaminated packages from self-proclaimed teachers is enough to understand these topics. This is because they perceive these concepts as attractive, mysterious, and full of answers to fundamental human questions. However, the experience of many truth seekers who are aligned with their higher self and walking their own spiritual path has shown that true understanding of these teachings depends less on the accumulation of information and more on inner readiness and the purification of one's mental structure. In ancient spiritual traditions as well, the term, emptying the vessel of being, has repeatedly been expressed in various forms and sometimes metaphorically as the first step in receiving truth. As mentioned in previous posts, as long as the mind of the audience is filled with old-world interpretations and rigid frameworks, the three-dimensional mind will inevitably interpret the concepts of the new world through those same old mental patterns. You should know that an unprepared mind only receives the outer shell of new world concepts and mixes them with prior knowledge. As a result, instead of clarity of the path, a set of fragmented and often contradictory perceptions is formed, which ultimately leads to mental confusion. This situation can be compared to the experience of entering an unknown land. If we impose old world maps without revision onto the new land, the paths will be incorrect and the signs misleading. In the same way, concepts related to the transformation of consciousness are only properly understood when a person is willing to temporarily step away from fixed interpretations and allow inner experience to gradually reveal the true meaning of the teachings of the new age. What ultimately illuminates the path is not the number of books read nor the volume of information stored, but the quality of inner receptivity. The emptier the vessel of being and the freer the mind from prejudgments, the greater the possibility of receiving truth with clarity. In such a state, concepts that once seemed vague, complex, or even merely entertaining are transformed into a deep insight about the structure of the mind, human choices, and the path of consciousness evolution. It is interesting to know that truth belongs less to a mind full of answers and is more revealed in a silent mind that is ready to listen. When human beings identify and consciously set aside their mental assumptions and implanted beliefs, and sincerely allow direct experience into the field, many illusions are cleansed, and what remains is a clearer perception of the path that has always been present within them.